everybody, I'm George Klippel, and along with Scott Sheehan, we're both from LiveView, and today we are talking about LiveView 360, our brand new subscription-based service. But before we do that, for those of you who are with us who don't know anything about LiveView, let's talk a little bit about who we are and what our company does. We've been around since 2006, and we produce IP-based encoders and decoders and a lot of technology that's based around cellular bonding. So in front of us today we have these encoders, an LU800, a 600, and 300, and we'll learn more about those in a little bit. But basically what we do, very simply, is just take cellular modems and plug in a camera to one of these units and transmit the video from a unit to an encoder out to an ISP or a CDN or into a production switcher. And we do that very successfully. We have a lot of the market share, about 65% of the market share. And we have products like these encoders, we have decoders, we have IP-based products like Tally and IFB and other things, and quite a few other products as well.
Yeah, I like to think of it as three major pieces. You got encoders to put cameras in, you got bonded cellular technology with IP, internet, and Wi-Fi to carry the video, and then decoders on the other end to produce your production.
Yeah, and that's simply put what LiveView is all about. That's what we do. And to learn more about us, you can go to www.liveview.tv. So today what we're here talking about is LiveView's brand new subscription-based service called LiveView 360. And what we're going to do on this show for the remainder of it is learn all about the LiveView 360 subscription service, what it's about, what you do to get it, how the products work, all the options that you have, kind of everything about it, drill into it deeper, demo some of the products, and kind of go into it so you can learn a lot more about it than what you see maybe on our website, etc. So what I'm going to do now is turn it over to Scott and let him kind of kick it off with a high-level overview of what the LiveView 360 program is all about, and then we'll dive into those individual feature sets. Scott, take it away.
Thanks, George. So what LiveView 360 is it's a subscription service. Think of it as a platform as a service for which you can begin to get started with LiveView, and then with us you can grow your production capabilities over time. So you get encoder, you get decoder, you get data plan, and in the past what you did with us, you just sit around and go, do I need this, do I need that, do I need to have camera control, do I need to have two-way communications via IFB, do I need to have video return? So what we've done now is we've taken a lot of those questions away, and we've created LiveView 360 subscription as a platform as a service. And we're going to get into more of the details about some of those services that I just talked about in a little bit. Two major platforms. You've got your LiveView 360 Essential, which is going to be for your news and your corporate, enterprise, and production capabilities. If you need to go into more motion and more video, a sports type of a production, you're going to step up to LiveView 360 Premium. So you got Essential, and you got LiveView 360 Premium, and what we're doing is giving you the ability to grow your services, grow your platform, grow your live video production capabilities.
Exactly. And so let's talk a little bit about the products that you get with LiveView 360. So we'll start with the units that are sitting right here on the set today. So you have these encoders. We have the LU800 here, we have the LU600, and we have the LU300. So you can get any one of these model encoders with LiveView 360. You can get one, you can get two, three, four, as many as you want in the subscription. And what's really nice about the subscription plan is you can actually build and mix and match these together. So you can get one of the 300s, two 600s, and 800. So it doesn't matter which encoder that you go with. The encoder also comes with a quad server, so a 4-output server, which is really nice. Whether you get one encoder or two, three, or four, it doesn't matter. So let's say you needed to add 6 encoders for your business. All you need to do is add another subscription, and you get another decoder, and that would give you 4 more output channels, and you'd be all set. And you know, when you look at these two, I want to kind of talk through the way the units are set up. These two encoders here, the 600 and the 300, are individual encoders that have single inputs, HDMI or SDI. So one camera input or a switcher input, if you will. And the LU800 is our first encoder and the first encoder on the market that has 4 simultaneous inputs. So you could have a single 2-channel, 3-camera, 4-camera, and as you were mentioning, the Fight or a REMI type of production, that's perfect for you. So you could have 1 camera or all the way up to 4 cameras and simultaneously send back 4 camera feeds back into a production switcher and switch those 4 cameras in your studio, or even on this unit you could do a multi-camera switch, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later. So that's the setup in general when you're ordering a LiveView subscription for LiveView 360. Now there's some other additional features that we want to dive into, the feature sets in addition to the encoder and decoder that you get, and Scott will start off with one of the more popular ones called IP Pipe.
Thanks, George. And one of the first LiveView 360 subscription services we want to talk about is IP Pipe. And IP Pipe is one of our latest innovations here at LiveView to essentially give you extend your network from your studio to the devices in the field. So if I've got a controller in the studio, I can also have my camera in the field connected through my, in this case, LU800, but it could be the 600 or the 300. IP Pipe works on all 3. So I've got my SDI feed from my PTZ camera connected to my LU800. I've got a network connection from the PTZ camera to my LU800. And then sitting over here in the studio, I've got my PTZ controller, and my PTZ controller is connected essentially via the same IP address so the 2 devices can talk. In this case, they're talking only 6 inches apart, but this could be 6,000 miles, it could be 600 miles. We've seen some really cool use cases, George, with how people are using IP Pipe to work from the studio and talk to their devices in the field. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, it's a really great way of reducing costs and having, other people kind of stay back in the studio and not have to ship full cases of gear out and have multiple camera people out in the field, because they're able to maybe just send 1 camera tech out into the field and have multiple PTZ cameras connected to LiveView units, field encoders, right?
Yeah.
And they save that multiple camera folks going out and save the T&E on those camera folks being out there, because 1 camera folk, or 1 camera person rather, can actually set those units up and actually have the controls all done back home, if you will. It's that REMI production model that we've talked about and alluded to before. Yeah. And it really works well, especially when you're talking about using these PTZ cameras. And we mentioned earlier, or I think you mentioned, that it's not just PTZ, right, optics. It could be Bird Dog or Panasonic or any IP-based camera.
Yeah, PTZ, like you said. And the thing I think about, like with the LU800, which is really cool, you talked about sending out 1 cameraman. You could actually, for instance, have 3 PTZ cameras connected into the LU800, but then you could have a camera person on a camera walking around as your 4th input. So you could send 1 camera person out, but do a 4-camera shoot by having PTZ control over this extended network to be able to control the other 3 cameras from the field.
Yeah, it does open up a myriad of different production options for you, and really allows you to save a lot of money, especially on the T&E front when you're doing long distance shoots and multiple different states. It really does open a lot of possibilities.
So George, you want to see how this works?
Of course I do, Scott. Yes.
All right, let's take a look.
All right.
So remember, just as a reminder, jokes aside, I'm in the studio and I'm 10, I'm 100, I'm 1,000 miles away from George, who's out in the field. So I've got the controller and we're going to put the camera on George. So obviously a very, very powerful solution that allows you to be transmitting video from the field and bringing camera controls from the studio to have control over the stuff that you're doing in the field. I mean, I'm not much of a gamer, but I can move this thing around like anybody. And like I say, it's a very powerful solution. It's one of many, as a matter of fact. We've got a number of different powerful solutions, and one of them happens to be DataBridge, which adds on to this.
And as Scott mentioned, DataBridge is another feature that comes with the LiveView 360 subscription service, and it's available in all 3 of the encoders that we have in front of us now, the 300, 600, or the 800. And DataBridge mode is the ability to change any one of these units from a streaming encoder to an Uber hotspot. And what that basically means is you can make your encoder into that hotspot so you can have internet connectivity and use it anywhere you want. So you can use it for connecting your laptop to send emails or search the internet, or you can use it to download files or send video files back that you maybe edited in Avid or Adobe Premiere or what have you, or many, many different ways. And it's really simple to use. So I'm going to take the LU600 for example, and I'm going to show you right here on the screen. You can see this is my basic interface when you're not in data bridge mode. It's what we call camera mode when you had a camera connected to it. But right down here in the bottom corner, you push this button called data bridge mode, and it changes your configuration over into what we call data bridge. And basically to start it, all you have to do is push the button here in the top corner. And once you push the button, it says connecting. And then once it connects, it essentially just turns the unit into a data bridge. And that's that Uber hotspot that I mentioned. And immediately it'll start showing you your down and up download speeds and upload speeds. And that's as easy as it gets to make this unit turn into an Uber hotspot. Oh, and on the back here, you'll notice that we have a configuration where you have 2 Ethernet ports, and you just turn that in. You can plug your Mac or PC into this Ethernet port and use it as the hotspot, as I mentioned, and get Ethernet connectivity. Or this unit can be connected to via Wi-Fi. Now, what's also real nice on these 2 units, it's basically just a standard hotspot, and you know.
So either video or data bridge.
Yeah, video or data bridge on either one of
right.
those 2, the 300 or 600. But on the LU800, you have 2 really unique things. First off, the LU800 has 5G option capabilities built into it, and you can order the unit with 5G, so you get 5G capability for your data bridge.
Built in.
Built in, that's right. And then secondly, the LU800 can also do data bridge plus live streaming simultaneously. These 2 units can't. It's either one or the other, streaming or data bridge mode. This unit here, streaming plus data bridge simultaneously. Really a huge feature and a huge capability.
If I was doing a corporate video production or something, big sales meeting and everybody's there, and I'm carrying all the video, and in this particular case, multiple cameras, and the CEO needs to change the presentation. The PowerPoint's got to change. So somebody back at the home office fixes up the PowerPoint, boom, send it over here, put it up on a laptop, and show it up on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people use our data bridge mode when they're at a convention center or a hotel or someplace where they don't have an Ethernet drop or don't want to pay for an Ethernet drop, if you will. And there's a lot of other case studies. I think you had one too.
Yeah, well, the horror business trip you sent me on to Hawaii that time, remember?
Oh, yeah, that was a tough one, I'm sure.
Well, anyway, I was down there with our friends at NewTek, and we were doing the presentation. Panasonic was there, and we were all doing a presentation. And lo and behold, the guy from NewTek for the TriCaster needed to do a software upgrade. And we didn't have internet. And so I grabbed the 600 before we got started, put it into data bridge mode. He made a Wi-Fi connection, downloaded the software, put it into the TriCaster, and he was able to complete his portion of the presentation, which was almost as good as my portion of the presentation, but it was really good, the 2 of us.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, the data bridge function is something, again, people are using in spots where you know, internet sometimes at a hotel can cost thousands and thousands of dollars. You can get it right here, included in the LiveView 360 subscription, and that's what it's there for, right? And it's part of the subscription. Another nice value-added feature that we added to the subscription model, so you had something that you could use all the time.
Audio Connect, the next service, powerful service that comes with the LiveView 360 subscription service, whether it's with any one of these devices, the LU300, the LU600, or the LU800. Audio being the key word here. So with each one of these subscriptions and with these different devices, what you get standard is IFB. So I've got a standard connector here, plugged in, 3mm mini jack, and if the studio needs to talk to me, TD needs to talk to me, I'm on the camera, whatever, they need to let me know whether we're going live in 5 or whatever it is. Back at the studio, I got a Focusrite, I got a Scarlett. It could be one of any 5 or 6 different devices, essentially taking audio to me, and I can hear we're going live, in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, one-way IFB.
One-way IFB. So the studio can let me know what's going on. Now, in a lot of cases, I might have to let them know, No, we're not going live in 3, 2, 1 because the talent's not ready, right? So Audio Connect is the live view feature that allows us to have communications both ways. So now I've changed out my connector. I've got a device with not only the ability to hear through the earpiece, but I've got a microphone on here. So now I can utilize the output from one of these devices and take the audio from me back to the studio. So we're going to go live in 5 minutes. No, hold on a minute. We're still waiting for makeup, whatever it might be. That's for the camera person. With the LU800, I've actually got 2 connectors. So while I might be on the cameraman, you might be the talent, and the studio you want to be in the ear to listen to what's coming from the studio as well. With the LU800, we actually have 2 connectors so we can both hear what's going on, whether I'm the camera person and you're the talent. So yeah, Audio Connect, and it comes with 8 different. With this subscription, you actually can get up to 8 people to talk to in the field and have 2-way audio communications.
Yeah, 8 interfaces.
8 interfaces.
Yeah, so I think that's huge, especially when you're dealing with anybody that's doing Remy production, anybody that's doing broadcast type of production. Where they're able to, have separate comms with that talent or camera person, because sometimes you are giving different instructions depending on what your, production looks like.
Well, I've seen them, you see it on the news now. You'll see the talent is got the earbuds in their ear. They're listening to sometimes the host,
right,
basically asking them the question, and then their audio is being carried back live in that particular case. But in the case of Audio Connect, you can have the 2-way communication sidebar.
Yeah, and we see that a lot too now with a lot of corporations, especially over this last year and a half, where people are doing a lot of media hits and they need to be able to not just hear, but to talk back to the talent and the host of that show. So Audio Connect, a big feature for Live E360.
Yeah, we can control cameras, we can send data, and we can have 2-way audio communications.
We can do it all, and we'll talk about another cool feature called Tally Light.
Tally.
That's right. Tally is another nice feature of the LiveView 360. It's a nice little device. Here it is right here. Fits in the palm of your hand. And it's included, again, in the 360 subscription. So you plug it in right here on the side. It has 3 different operational modes. When it is off, it is off. You don't have any light on the front of it. When it's green, it's in a standby mode, and when it's red, it's in transmission mode. And so what you do with it, it comes with this cable, you plug it in, and it goes right into the USB port on the unit. And it's pretty simple. You plug it in like that, then you mount this right on top of the camera. And then it sits on the camera, and again, it's either off, green, or red when you're transmitting. And how it connects into your environment in the production studio is you have a GPIO device that connects to your switcher. So when you're live on the air and you take this camera, it's going to change the color from green to red, and that's basically how it works, because it uses that GPIO that comes with the device. And you get 4 of these in your LiveView 360 subscription. So that's the GPIO switch will actually give you control over 16. Yeah,
so
up to 16 of these.
So 16 of these from the actual controller unit. So if you do expand your subscription to 6 and 7 or 8, you've already got a GPIO switch. You just got to add a few more Tally lights.
You do, exactly. And they're really convenient to have, and talent love these, right? They want to make sure that they know when they're on the air and when they're off the air, right? So it's a nice feature to have, and something, again, that's included as part of the subscription service that you don't have to pay for or add on to. So that's the LiveView Tally. So now that we've seen Tally and all these other exciting features, there's one other one that's out there that a lot of our customers really like, and it's an option for LiveView 360 subscribers if they really like it. It requires another server. It's called Video Return, and you'd get another Video Return server to have this feature. And I'm going to have Scott kind of walk you through it, because it's really cool, and for some of you, you may really want it. Scott?
All right, so the Video Return server is back at the studio, and I'm in the field, I'm producing, and I want to be able to get video back to me so I can either see what you've switched in, added graphics or that, or maybe I want to get a teleprompter back for the talent. So 2 of these devices, either the LU600 or the LU800, have that capability for video return. And the way I'm going to do that is I've got my LU600. It's currently in camera mode, but I'm going to actually put it into video return mode. And I had mentioned to you that I've got 2 channels. Right now it comes up as the first channel, but just to show you, I could have 2 channels. So I could either have program on 1 or teleprompter on 2. And in this particular case, I want to see program. So I'm going to pick that channel, and I'm very simply going to hit start. And when I hit start, I'm going to make a connection, and the video return is going to come back to my screen. And I want to watch the video return on my LU600. I just need a small screen view. And I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to hit that, and we're going to go to full screen mode. And we can see the video return coming back to the field, everything that you're producing from the studio. All right, so the other thing we might want to be able to do is to take that video return and see a bigger screen. Maybe it's not real convenient for me to see it here. So I've got an HDMI connector here. I got an HDMI connector on the LU800, and we can plug in the HDMI connector, put up a 42-inch, 52-inch monitor, and have confidence monitor type quality of video coming back. So actually, I've put it on my 50-inch. It's not too bad as well, but it's not going to be an LCD screen wall.
Right, and you've got, but in the 600, you've got a 5-inch capacitive touchscreen, and then in the 800, it's 7.
That's correct.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you do have multiple options, plus the HDMI out, mini HDMI.
Yeah, and with a 7-inch screen, and I'm sitting here and I'm the talent, and that camera's sitting there facing me, that's good enough for teleprompter. So it can be a very nice compact ability for talent to be able to get teleprompter or see themselves mixed in the video production and back at the studio.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's again another feature that you can get if that's what your production calls for. And we've been talking a lot about the subscription service and what it includes, all these different options and features and sets of features and capabilities, but we haven't yet spent any time on how you manage all of this and how you control it and work with it, and how do you make it work, right? Well, one of the things that LiveView 360 comes with is what we call LiveView Central, and that's our web-based management platform, which really gives you command and control of everything in the LiveView 360 subscription environment. That means everything from your encoders and your decoders and your delay settings and your configuration of your servers. Basically, it's your command and control center.
In the cloud. Accessible from any browser, from a laptop, from any device that you want to use. Log in. You could be logged in. I could be logged in. Typically, it's one person taking control, see all my encoders, see all my channels, and control everything, and control the entire production.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's cloud-based again, and most people do because you can access this from anywhere in the world. So, you're doing a production, somebody's in California, and the tech person maybe is in Florida, and they have to help out or log in, and they can do that control and figuring all of that out. That's really an amazing.
Well, you know what I hear a lot of too is they'll say, look, the people that are going to be in the field, they're not going to be able to hit these buttons and change things and go to video return mode. So essentially what they're saying is turn this on, turn the camera on, I'll take it over from here. So with LiveView Central, back at the studio, you can control everything remotely.
Yeah, and that's another nice thing. I mean, for those of you who don't know LiveView or haven't followed LiveView before, you can do all of that through LiveView Central, all the command and control, starting and stopping of the units. But you can also do it right from the packs themselves, from the encoders. You can start and stop record. You can select the server that you want. You can set the delay. We give you a bunch of different options, different ways of doing it, but LiveView Central is that command and control piece that we don't want to forget about because it's a hugely important thing.
And the other nice feature about the LiveView 360 subscription is something we call single sign-on, which ties into what you're talking about with LiveView Central. So you've got all these users, you've got people that are in the system, they've got access to the encoders, they've got access to the decoders, different users, different privileges. They get allowed in, and then they leave the company, they got to be taken out. So with the idea of single sign-on and the ability to be tied into Active Directory, you can essentially remove that employee and they're removed from LiveView Central as well. So I think for a lot of people out there who have initiatives around single sign-on, we support it.
Yeah, and it's huge in education, huge in the corporate world, and having that ability to take people in and out, like you said, especially again in education where they're coming in, registering for class, leaving as soon as they graduate. It automates the process. Real simple. Nice to have. Great feature in LiveView 360. And another one, and I think this is probably the biggest one of all of these subscription services that we've been talking about on these models, the 800, the 600, the 300, all have unlimited data with the LiveView 360 subscription service. It's amazing. It's the first time ever that our Pro products have had unlimited data available on them. I mean, I couldn't believe it when we made the announcement. We started talking about this.
Well, it's obviously a big part of the subscription that makes it
absolutely
so attractive. And what's interesting about that is because we're transmitting on cellular, and unlimited data is big, and the ability to have great reception is big. So tied into the unlimited data, if you think about it, also is the priority SIMs that come along with that.
That's right.
So you got the priority SIMs, the two AT&T SIMs that give you priority data over everybody else in the crowd.
Yeah, that's right, Scott. Our modems have dual SIM capability. They have an A slot and a B slot. On the A side, they can be used anywhere in North America. And on the B side, basically, you're able to go anywhere you want globally in 186 different countries without having to go run around looking for local SIMs when you go to Europe or to Mexico or somewhere else. They're already included in there for you, so they're just built in and available in the unit when you get it right out of the factory. So with all these great solutions, you've got to have great support. And for those of you who don't know LiveView, LiveView has had white glove support for many, many years. We have 24/7, 365 support, overnight RMAs, advanced replacements, and now with the LiveView 360 subscription service, we have the Platinum service level of support, the highest level that we've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, we've had all of that stuff that allowed us to be reactive, and we've been really good at it. But now with the Platinum level support, what we're able to do is be on your team and be preventive and be proactive to help you through the production, not so much to fix things or whatever, but to help you through the LiveView production and through the live production.
You're right, Scott, and one of the nicest things about this new Platinum service level agreement is that we have insurance. And that's on any of the devices. You lose it, it gets stolen, LiveView will replace it for you. And some of the other preventative maintenance features that you mentioned are things like managed software upgrade services, NOC live event monitoring, yearly ad hoc health checks, dashboard monitoring. And there's two other ones that I really wanted your opinion on too, Scott. This yearly ad hoc health check, I think that's huge.
Without question. I mean, like you say, you want to make sure your equipment's going to stay working. It's when you go into a live event, you want to know going in with confidence that you're not going to need to make that 24/7, 365 support call. If it's there, great, right? But you want to know going into every event that your equipment is running and tested. And you do a lot of your own testing yourself, but now you can involve LiveView, have LiveView support engineers get on, take a look, do a health check, and make sure it's ready to roll.
Yeah, and then the other thing that really is unique about this new package is the opt-out after 90 days, which is just unheard of.
It's unheard of. So essentially you get the whole LiveView 360 subscription. You can get a 1-year subscription, a 2-year, a 3-year subscription, and but it's something new. It's something you're signing up for, and you've actually got the opportunity after 90 days to make a one-time opportunity to opt out. It just didn't work, right? But we have the confidence, I think, that for 90% of the people or more, that you're going to love it and keep going.
And finally, there's two other optional services, major event support and LiveView consulting services that we offer. And that's where you can have LiveView come in and help you with your major event, consult with you on what you're doing for your projects, and basically we'll be there for you to help you out with whatever you need. And that kind of really rounds out everything, Scott, that you get with the premium services as part of the LiveView 360 subscription package.
And I love the way you said round out, because we've truly come 360 degrees on this, right? A truly fully integrated subscription service, products, services, licenses, and a platinum level service to make it all work, so you can go live anywhere at any time and bring it to anybody and everybody. And there's a few ways to find out more, right?
There is. You can contact your local reseller. You can go to www.liveview.tv and check out the information there about the subscription packages that we've been talking about today from LiveView 360. And again, I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and learning more about the LiveView 360 subscription packages, as well as thank you, Scott, for being here. And thank you, everybody, again out there. And have a great day.